Welcome back to the YouTube channel Ride and Seek. No, it's not hide and seek, it is ride and seek. In the last video, we saw the concept of using a folding cycle in conjunction with some multimodal transportation. In the example that we took, it was the metro train. Now, post that video, I've spent a little more than a week traveling on the cycle as well as on metro rail, both during odd and even and otherwise. In this particular video, what I intend to do is to give you my experience of how exactly was the travel from my home, which is in Munirka in New Delhi, to my office, which is Shankar Vihar, part of the cantonment area. So every day in the morning, I start at about 8:10 or 8:15. The office time commences, of course, at 9 o'clock. And I take my folding cycle, bring it down, we stay on the second floor, bring it to the ground floor, unfold it, and the journey commences from there. The initial about 100 to 200 meters is through a residential colony, and thereafter I touch the outer ring road, turn left from there, and move along the outer ring road. Again, approximately 100 to 200 meters or maybe 250 meters is the distance that I cover on the outer ring road over a flat surface, and thereafter I have the option of either moving up the flyover or going along with the bylane. Now, there's a new part of the flyover which has opened not too long back. Some of you may be aware of it, some of you may have read it in the newspapers as well, which is the Raut Tolaram flyover part, which took almost about 5 years to make. And that is the new flyover which goes right next to the Vasant Vihar area. Now, this is a beautiful new flyover. It gives a lovely view of the green areas which are in the vicinity in Vasant Vihar, and it gives a fantastic view on a good, clear day, which was a challenge, of course, during the initial period of odd and even of the Malai Mandir. Now, the differentiation that comes in once you are going down the flyover and join the main road again is in the density of traffic. What would usually happen is that when the two roads join each other, where they come and meet at the outer ring road, you would find a jam in the morning during office hours. This used to be the case, as you would see in this video, which was shot before the odd and even, and one had to really negotiate the jam, go from the sides, be very careful in this movement, and thereafter go right through the stop traffic or the slow movement of traffic, cross the road, and thereafter move across to the other side from where the office is fairly close by. Now, that has not happened, and that has not been visible since the time odd even has kicked in. So that is the reduction of traffic which was very clearly evident, very clearly visible, and one could move smoothly down the flyover. However, after the first day or two, I realized that it was actually more dangerous crossing the road when there was smooth flow of traffic, because people came with a fair brisk pace from there. So what I have been doing is I get down from the cycle at the junction and thereafter wait for a clean passage and then cross the road and go across to the internal road. So that is one change that has happened over a period of time. Now, that is as far as the onward journey to the office is concerned. Now, there is an equally interesting journey which happens on the way back. So on the way back, I do a part cycle, part metro, and then part cycle trip. So the initial part of the journey, I move on my cycle from the office to the metro station. The metro station is approximately about 1.5 kilometers from my office, and it takes just about maybe 6-7 minutes to reach there. It actually takes a little more time to go through the scanners and to take the cycle inside the metro station, to move up the escalator and to the station itself. It's a smooth process, not an issue at all, like I spoke last time, but the fact is that it takes a little more time in negotiating that rather than the cycling bit. Now, having reached there, from Shankar Vihar to Munirka, the travel time, the actual travel time by metro is just 4.5 minutes. So it's as fast as that. Once you get down from there, again smooth, move up the escalator, take your cycle out of the metro station. In fact, the videos that I had shown you last time of my movement from the metro station is exactly from there. So you come out, unfold the cycle, wear your helmet, and ride off home. Takes again about 6 to 7 minutes from there to reach home, which includes the negotiation of traffic, taking a U-turn from a flyover, and thereafter moving back home. So in all, I would say 16 to 17 minutes to reach the office, and about 18 to 19 minutes on the way back, given the changeovers that actually take place. So it's not too much of an advantage here purely in terms of time despite the metro, because of the changes that are happening. However, if you were to undertake a similar journey over a very long distance, say from instead of from Shankar Vihar to Munirka, say Shankar Vihar to Noida, then it's a very huge, a very major gain in terms of the time that you would save. And I think that's if somebody does that kind of a journey, it's an excellent idea. Now let me come on to how exactly did I equip myself, prepare myself for this journey. I have been doing this journey in the past, but I thought it pays to be a little more systematic, a little more careful and organized with how you undertake the journey. So the things that I added on, of course, I had my helmet from earlier. I have been using this now for just a little under a year or so. But what I did add was a mask. I guess this doesn't come as a surprise to anybody, given the kind of pollution challenges that we've been facing in Delhi. So this, of course, let me give you a disclaimer. I'm not being this is not being gifted to me. I bought it online. It's one of the better masks that are available. It's an N99 mask, so it is supposed to stop 99% of the pollutants that come your way. It is also supposed to ensure that the heavy breathing doesn't result in the fogging of the glasses. That is a mixed result, I would say, but reasonably okay, but certainly not perfect. I would also say that someone who's not used to cycling with a mask, it takes a little bit of a time to get used to it, although this is meant for physical activity, but yet the manner in which you breathe is slightly heavier than you would if you were not wearing something like a mask. So it takes a little bit of time to get used to it. The other thing that I've been carrying right through my rides is, of course, the GoPro camera. The footage that you've been seeing through this video has been shot on this GoPro camera. A recent addition has been this backpack. I was carrying a normal standard backpack in the past. I had a couple of problems with that. One, it was smaller, so it was not being able to carry all my stuff, and if it used to get really jammed into my backpack. This is much better. It has multifarious uses, so I can use it for cycling, which it is meant for. I can also use it for trekking, and I can use it for normal casual usage as well. So it can carry my laptop, it can carry the cover for my cycle, it carries my phone, it carries the camera equipment, it carries my food. So all knick-knacks, small little things that I wish to carry while going to the office or otherwise, this pack is able to take care of everything. The load distribution is also much better with this backpack when you cycle, and I think one of the important things, especially related to people in a warm place like Delhi, you have these channels which help reduce the kind of sweating that happens when you travel, because the pack doesn't touch the back directly, and these bands are there which help with that. So I think that was a useful addition. I'm not doing a detailed review of any of these items. These are all available on YouTube, but I thought I'll give you an idea as to what are the additions that I have made to make a smoother journey to my office. I hope this video has been useful. I hope I've been able to give you some inputs and some feedback about this journey. Lastly, I think I need to tell you about what exactly was the impact of pollution during the initial days. The first couple of days were actually quite bad when it came to pollution. You can see the videos and you can make out that it was an absolute grey, dreary day during which I cycled to the office. I've given you examples of how one could barely see a certain distance. Malai Mandir, which is right next to the flyover, was barely visible. In fact, it was getting lost in the grey, dreary background. Things have improved since then. So that was a major challenge, and I think to that extent, for everyone who was traveling during that time, it was an issue. But I guess the mask would have been of some use during that period. And some studies do indicate, unlike popular perception, safer inside a car than you are outside. In fact, some studies suggest quite the opposite, wherein there are more pollutants. The air is worse inside the car than it is actually outside. And with a mask, I think it is quite reasonable, and it's been a reasonable experience with the cycling part. So this is my feedback of my journey on a cycle and through multimodal transportation from my home to the office. Now, this was the second part of this series, a short series. I don't intend to do any more videos of this, but what I will do now hereafter is to come on to the meat of what this channel was intending to do, and which was to ride, to see, and to go eating out to various places in Delhi. And the area that I have chosen to begin this journey with is of Old Delhi, is specifically the area of erstwhile Shahjahanabad. My next video will be concentrating on one area of Shahjahanabad which I think will be of immense interest to all of you. See you with the next video. Bye bye for now.